Hey y'all, it's your girls Fire
and TG,
and together we're Awaze.
Catch us every Thursday. Yeah, you heard that correctly.
Thursday,
3:30 to 5 p.m. on 104.7 EBC FM.
Come for the good music and stay for the spicy topics. Awaze, let's spice it up.
Yo, what it do?
It feels like it's been a while, but that's probably because it's been a while.
It has been a while. You weren't here last week.
Nope.
And I was telling everybody in the morning I do a business show, and I was like, guess what, y'all? My girl's back. She's going to come back in the afternoon.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the Awaze Show with your girls, Fire and TG.
Hey.
I was not here last week. I apologize. I was not feeling great, child.
Were we here the week before?
I think it was them getting we weren't here.
Oh,
either.
God. It's been 3 weeks.
It's been 3 weeks since we've been able to do the show live, but we're back. We're back in such a vibe. Like, we're back on such a high note as well. We have a guest coming up next week. It's going to be a hectic month or so make sure to stay tuned with us and tune in with us and to these shows. We promise we'll try not to miss a lot of days in between. How has your last 2 weeks been? We usually do a recap of our week, but now it's 2 weeks.
We do a recap on and off air, and it's been hectic, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Been a lot of people coming into the country on my side. A lot of people, a lot of family. So been running around a lot, but it's been good. And I was in pain a couple of weeks ago. I talked about this.
She had to get her wisdom tooth removed.
Oh my God.
It's been touch and go with health wise.
With the both of us.
With the both of us. When we get sick, we get sick together, which is always absolutely hilarious to me.
In different strange ways, right?
Yes, but she fell down the stairs, I fell down the stairs. We have this weird thing where we act like twins.
I hope you don't have to get your wisdom tooth removed.
I really hope so too. But now that we're back, it's been nice to get these last 2 weeks off. Honestly, I feel very recharged, very ready to tackle whatever. And so, super happy to be back.
And
this chair missed me.
TGIT, thank God it's Thursday. So, today's topic, we figured, we've been doing some fun topics lately, and we wanted to talk about something a tiny bit more serious that I think everyone in this country, and I think people all over the world, can relate to some degree. It's a sensitive topic, I think, especially in our country. I think Lupita says it best, where she says colorism, which is the topic for today, is the sister of racism.
It is. So we could talk about racism. That's something Ethiopians need to talk about.
That they're not ready to talk about, too.
We're not ready to have that conversation. We're not ready. We're not ready to get canceled or nothing either.
At all.
We don't need to explain that racism is bad.
And we don't need to explain that racism exists.
It's very common sense. You see it all around you. It's the type of problem that is costing people lives.
Yes.
And so that is a topic all on its own. Like we said, we're not going to tackle that topic on this specific show.
But today we want to dive into colorism because we feel like, since we are big advocates of mental health, we understand that colorism really does affect someone's mental health and really just the way that someone sees themselves, the way they move in this world. It really even affects the way that you identify yourself as a person to that degree.
Yes, and I spent most of my life being very blind to it because we talked about it and we were like, well, we're not classified as either one, so people just don't bring these things up around us. But we do have friends, mutual friends, that the color of their skin has caused them a lot of trauma, even though we're living in Ethiopia. It's an African country. They've been bullied for being darker. They, have very sensitive about their skin tone. Very, very, they take it so personally. It's become their whole personality.
To some individuals, but I'd have to disagree. People are always talking about skin tone.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what skin tone you are.
Yeah.
People are constantly always labeling you. Whether you are aware of it or not.
Oh yeah, it's always kayo, barch.
There's always, and the weird thing is, it was weird because even a couple of weeks ago, here at work, people were asking me. They were like, "Wait, how we?" And I was like, "Yeah," and they're just like, "What color are you?" I was like, "I don't know. You're the one looking at me." Like, I don't know.
What is it that
and
you're
they
trying to
literally
say?
had a debate on whether I'm gay or gay dama.
Okay.
And I was like,
I don't know what those mean.
so gay is just light skin.
Light skin,
And then, gay dama is like semi-light skin.
I didn't even know there was such a category, but good to know.
Silent guest who is here.
Yeah,
Am I somehow translating the coloration,
you know
right?
what Kaidama means?
No, I just
She's like, I've never heard that before.
it's like semi-light skin. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm considered tayyim.
But even with tayyim, there's
like
range.
ranges of it.
And so the world that we live in, I think even in our country, where people have to identify you by a color.
Yeah.
To be like, this is who you are. And then sort of put you in this category of, this is the kind of person you are in society. And even just if we look at historically,
what it has meant, how
the
it's
context
been used to oppress people.
Yes. So we have a history as a country, we have a history as a people, and even in the world, we see it in Asian countries, we see it in other African countries, we see it in the West with how there's a privilege if you're lighter skin, and people even searching to find the latest creams, you know what I mean? So
bleaching products. I've started to notice that bleaching products are making their way into Ethiopia.
they have been here, Mama.
Yes, but more aggressively now. Like, I'll see a Telegram ad for it
Now,
on my Facebook, and so this is a great time to address this problem.
I was gonna say it's been.
It used to be in the background. It's starting to read, especially with the rise of social media and of being able to take pictures and show yourself off.
But the weird thing is, since I've always been here, I've seen every person that I know, woman, and there's some men too, who have the Fair and Lovely. I've seen everybody have that, and I was like,
"This is Dark and Lovely." I was gonna say, "Is this Fair and Lovely?"
No,
This is Dark and Lovely.
but it was
Never
a
mind.
very popular.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yes,
I remember putting it on.
I did too, because I thought it was sunscreen.
No, I knew it made you lighter, but I thought it would even out my skin tone. But I put it on; it just was ashy. So I was
we
like,
all
this
looked
is
ashy.
Horrible.
It was terrible.
It's so bad. Kids that grew up in the 90s, everybody knows Fair and Lovely. Oh my God,
See?
I smell it now.
Exactly,
A
it's
memory
ingrained
just
in your
got
memory.
triggered. Jesus.
But that's what I mean. It's been around in our society for a very long time,
I
love.
specifically remember what it smells
You see
like
what I'm
all of a
saying?
sudden. Wow.
So even we have memories, we have senses that are attached to this particular topic, which is so
That's
strange.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do see a lot of people invalidating, especially darker skinned people that say, hey, you treat me differently because I'm dark skinned. This is how society sees me, especially like I'll scroll through TikTok and I'll see videos from people from Gambela and regions like that, and of them being like, of course we're Ethiopian.
Right.
And just an entire comment section being extremely rude and then continuing to say, we don't care if you're dark skinned. Yes, you do. You're cussing them out as we
absolutely do.
speak. Like, pick a side.
If you're tuning in and if you happen to not know the definition of colorism, we'll backpedal for a second and give you guys the definition. It's discrimination based on skin color. It's not only known as colorism, it's also known as shadeism. And it's a form of prejudice and discrimination in which people who share similar ethnic traits and people who are perceived as belonging to a darker skinned race are treated differently based on social implications that come with cultural meanings. Cultural meanings that are attached to being darker skin.
And there's a lot. So we're gonna dive into all of those things. Make sure to stay tuned in. If you just did tune in, this is the Oasis Show.
Yes.
With the girls at Fire and TG. We're back together for the first time in like 2 weeks, so you better make
It's
the
been a
most of
while.
it.
Don't miss out, guys. We're going to be here until 5. So with that, we're going to get to a musical break. Again, if you want to hit us up, you can be able to do so on our Telegram at Oaze Media. That's AWAZE MEDIA. And you can find us on social media under the same name.
Yes, sir.
Let's
go
get to
for a
some
track.
music. All right, and we'll be back in a bit. Do not move a muscle. Let's get it. We get to let me, you know what I mean, say the names
What's
of
the
the
song?
songs.
Yeah.
702. Where my girls at?
Oh.
I know, we're going back. All right.
Hey y'all, it's your girls Fire
and TG,
and together we're Awaze.
Catch us every Thursday. Yeah, you heard that correctly.
Thursday,
3:30 to 5 p.m. on 104.7 EBC FM.
Come for the good music and stay for the spicy topics. Awaze, let's spice it up.
What do you know? We're back here at ABC 104.7. Awaze Show, your girl Howie and my girl TG.
Thank God it's Thursday.
Yes. Before the musical break, we were talking about today's topic, which is colorism or shadism.
Shadism. And off the air, we like to talk politics. So we were talking about 12th grade and their results. And that's what we were thinking about in the meantime. We'll definitely set aside some time to just talk to... We understand that a lot of our listeners are very young.
Yes, they are.
Very impressionable.
And we had shows in the past where we've talked about education and the educational system.
Yeah, overall. I wonder what she's thinking now. The last time we had a professional here that was a child educational psychologist, and we talked to her about our school systems, and she had a lot of, she pointed out a lot of areas of a lot of problems.
Sure. So, disparities within the educational system.
Yeah.
And maybe we should have a segment that we dedicate to that, because this is a huge problem.
This is a lot of people that don't know what to do now, because most of us are raised to
go to school,
get an education, go to school, go to college, graduate, find a job. It's definitely shifting.
I mean, it's the surest way that you feel like I can be able to provide for myself and not live with my parents.
At least a fixed income. And so that age is gone. This girl on my TikTok said, I don't know about you, but I'm so happy I was born before all of this happened.
This is rough.
Yeah.
Because I know that we have young listeners, like you said, and I can't imagine the fear and the frustration and the anxiety that they feel.
At 18 to have to figure your life out. All of a sudden, you don't get those extra 3 to 5 years where you can mull it over.
I can't imagine, and I think that we definitely will set aside a show in which we talk about it, and we want honest conversations. We're going to keep it as transparent as we can. So if you guys want us to do that show, hit us up on our Telegram at Awaze Media. That's AWAZE MEDIA.
And for today, the topic is colorism.
Shadism. I like it. I like the fact that it can also be called shadism.
It sounds like throwing shade. I'm going to be honest. That's what shadism sounds like.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you just did tune in, colorism is treating people differently, not just based on their race, but also based on their skin color as well.
Yes.
And when we talked about Pretty Privilege, if you guys haven't checked out that show, it's on our YouTube. You can check it out. We talked about how, what do Ethiopians consider beautiful, for example? And we said, very European features. Slim nose, lighter skin, big eyes, not too wide of a nose, not too big of lips. Like, we have very European standards for beauty.
It's very Goldilocks,
It's very, like, the three bears are coming to get you. And it's a strange thing to experience, being that we're African.
But the interesting thing about colorism is the fact that when you are considered dark skinned, you're also considered quote unquote ugly. It's just like,
or less than.
Like, you're just automatically not considered attractive.
True.
But I have seen people who are darker skinned and who are gorgeous, and the way that they're treated is also strange in the sense that,
is it fetishized?
And it's a very strange thing to see with people, especially within the workplace. You're just like, what is that? Like, what is that, where you automatically assume someone who's darker skin is just not going to be attractive, and when they are, you treat them differently than other people who are of darker complexion.
That's
And that's why I was just like, when you look at, and I'm gonna, put this out there, when you look at huge organizations in terms of, advertisements, when you look at huge organizations in terms of modeling, exactly, there are very few, people of various skin complexions. You don't see every color in the rainbow.
It's not very well representative of the general audience.
And if you do see a few who are dark skinned, they feel like they have to fill a quota.
Yeah.
They're just like, we gotta look like we're diversified.
You're the token dark skinned person.
You gotta look like, you know what I mean, that you're diversifying, you know, your brand. You're just doing it just so that you can look like you're appeasing people, but really that's not the case.
True.
Because when you look in, you know what I mean, that particular organization, there are very few people within that group. So even I'm just like, it doesn't even showcase who we are as a people when you look at even the way that things are advertised. Like, for example, Nigeria, they have officially, like,
Banned,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Banned people who are not people of color from modeling or advertising or just showcasing, you know, themselves in Nigerian media.
They
which
said
I
no
applaud.
palm-colored people.
I love it. I'm here for it.
They said none. We're done with that.
Which I appreciate.
Me too.
Because you can imagine how long it took for them to even come to that kind of decision as a society.
Yeah, I think it, especially in like, how do I put this? African countries that have a huge entertainment industry, they really do tend to put the lightest of the. It's like a major problem throughout Africa.
Oh, yeah.
And that we always have this problem where we seclude ourselves and we're like, oh, that doesn't happen here. Has nothing to do with us. It does on a day-to-day basis, and we're saying this as people who have friends who complain about these things to us and who talk about these things to us. Like I said, I didn't really pay attention to it until I had dark-skinned friends who had to go their entire lives being treated like they weren't Ethiopian.
But also the opposite is true, where I've heard light-skinned people
Also be treated like they're not Ethiopian.
or understand that they know it's a privilege.
Oh, yeah.
Which is even weirder.
weirder.
Yes.
That's a whole thing. Like, we have a saying for it, so I don't know why we deny that it exists.
Imagine having a phrase like that. It's wild.
Yeah.
So it's very much there. But even just, see, the thing is, I can't even remember the particular terms that were used to even oust like, you know what I mean, a particular group of people historically. You might remember it. I don't.
Yeah, it's offensive, so I'm not going to repeat it on radio, but the words that are used to describe darker skinned people, we say it like it's a term of endearment. And I've had this argument with a lot of Ethiopians before where they're like, me calling somebody Bare as a term of endearment, it's like a cute nickname. And I'm like, well, the direct translation of that word means slave.
Yes.
That is what that word translates to. So for you, it's all cute and you're maybe trying to be sweet by calling a person that, but you have to understand where that word came from, the history that it has attached to it, and especially for somebody that, if you have been bullied because of dark skin, using that word alongside a cute nickname does not help.
Yeah.
It does not. It's not a fun experience for them, and you can literally see the light in their eyes just go dim the second somebody calls them that. And you're like, when we're making people uncomfortable, I think it's okay for us as a people to stop and be like, well, what's important? The fact that I'm used to saying this word willy-nilly, or the fact that I made somebody feel bad?
But do we even have collective, you know,
awareness of it? No.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Not even a little.
Even as a people, we never have those conversations of taking into account people's feelings.
Yeah.
So we never go that far. We just continue having awkward and weird.
What are feelings? You have feelings? I can hurt them? Yeah, that's the general attitude towards whatever we do that's offensive to other people. As long as we're not offended by it, we feel like it's okay to do it to other people. And there's a lot of conversations we need to have on just a filter between the brain and the mouth for the whole population.
And even the conversation of skin bleaching and just even statistically what that looks like, not just only in Ethiopia, but just even in Africa, is... Ooh.
Those are multi-billion-dollar industries for a reason.
And now, where before it used to be skin bleaching, like, you know, creams and stuff like that people use, it's gone to the extent of injections. Yes. So what people do is that there is an injection. I can't remember the particular scientific name, but what it does is when you inject it inside of you, it stops your cells from being able to produce melanin.
Jesus.
So that when it stops producing it, you essentially become lighter and lighter and lighter.
The Michael Jackson syndrome.
Yes, and you see that in Asian countries, you see it in Middle Eastern countries, you see it, you know what I mean, now even coming to the continent as well. And I'm like, how did we go so far as a people where we're just like, I want to even biologically, scientifically alter, you know what I mean, my DNA so that I can look like something that I'm not.
Yeah, and it's also surprising because the rest of Africa considers us pretty light already. Yes, there are Northern African countries that are mixed with Arab, and so it's a lot of white people. But Ethiopians in general, we are treated like the light skins of Africa, sort of.
Yeah.
And we've embraced that with our whole chest.
Of course.
A whole chest.
There's even like anthropology classes around, you know what I mean, our Ethiopianness and how we differ from other Africans in terms of our physicality. I'm like, what?
It's that light skin disease that's making us act like this. No, we really, 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 really need to reconsider how we look at being African, all the shades that it comes in, and all the features that it encompasses. It's so beautiful, and we're walking into this age where Africa's starting to embrace itself. It's starting to look within. More people want to wear their natural hair, and you know what I mean? More people want to wear traditional attire. At this point in time, Africa's trying to find itself. It's trying to come back home with everything that we do instead of mimicking whatever happens in the rest of the world. So it's about time we got on that bandwagon.
Yeah, and the thing is, everything is under that bandwagon except for complexion.
Yeah, and like the next time you see people from you know, places like Gambela, for example, I'm always in awe, and I try not to stare, but they're so pretty.
Yes, they are.
Always tall, always in a group, always just swagged out, amazing outfits, and the way people react to them, you're just like, please stop. And it must be so uncomfortable.
Imagine this being the only home you've ever known, and yet it's not home.
And you just get treated like and you see people talk to them in English, and you're just like, they are it's just one of the regions in Ethiopia, you know, right? Like, these are not foreigners. But we can't put ourselves in their shoes to say how they feel. But we've definitely noticed from friends that it's not a comfortable experience. So get more comfortable with Ethiopians and Africans being all types of different shades and complexions, and let's really, really work on not judging people. We're already racist, okay?
Yeah.
We're already going through a racism problem. Let's just not add this. Let's work on one thing at a time, please.
I mean, I think this is going to be, and we've said this before, we may not have been colonized physically, but mentally we absolutely have. And this is one way that you can see that we're acting as if, you know what I mean, like we have been occupied in that sense. And I'm like, where did this mindset come from even prior to social media? And so we kind of have to like look back as a people and say, where did this come from, and how do we come to a place in which that self-hatred, we can eliminate it? And if you feel the need to look at somebody and judge them for their own skin complexion, it really is a self-hatred, because if I love me, I will feel no need to look at you and be like, this is what's wrong about you and this is what's ugly about you, because clearly I'm nitpicking myself. Yeah. So there's a lot of work we have to do as a country. But we'll talk more about colorism when we come back after the news. We do have updates, guys, so we'll be back after 4. But make sure to stay tuned. And if you guys have any questions, requests, if you want to join us in this conversation, make sure to hit us up on our Telegram at Awaze Media. That's AWAZEMEDIA. We're gonna, take some water, take a break, and then we'll see you guys after 4. Let's get to Nivea featuring Jagged Edge. Don't mess with my man. And we'll see you guys after the news. Let's get it.
Hey y'all, it's your girls Fire
and TG,
and together we're Awaze.
Catch us every Thursday. Yeah, you heard that correctly.
Thursday,
3:30 to 5 p.m. on 104.7 EBC FM.
Come for the good music and stay for the spicy topics. Awaze, let's spice it up.
Ayo,
Goodness, y'all. Salt and pepper.
we're back with the second half of the hour.
And that was What a Man.
What a man, what a man, what a... I'm not
What
the
a
one
mighty
singing.
good man.
I was going to say, you are the singer here. I was
take
just trying to
over.
open
I'll
for you.
take over. Welcome back to the Awaze Show with your girls, TG.
And Howie.
You know, I hope you guys are having a fantastic Thursday. Happy Thursday.
TGIT.
Musik ang kadus. If you're driving home, if you're chilling at home, if you're at work, whatever you're doing right now, I hope you are happy and healthy and tuned into the show, obviously, for obvious reasons.
Again, we said that if you're hearing us and you're like, wait, Oaze? Thursday? Yes. We've officially moved from Friday evenings to Thursday drive time. So we're here for your Thursday afternoons, y'all.
We spiced it up so much, we switched days.
Switched it all the way up. So we're back. In the first half of the hour, we talked about colorism, which we say is a sister to racism. And it's the topic that not a lot of people talk about, but is very much prevalent in our society and many societies around the world.
Yeah.
And we kind of just want to wrap up what our overall thoughts are.
Final thoughts, yeah. For me, how I would wrap this up is, for starters, I would like to apologize on behalf of everybody to both dark skin and very light skin Ethiopians that, get treated like they don't belong. Both of them do.
Yeah.
We talked about how pretty privilege is a problem too in certain ways. It really, if how light skinned you are is your entire personality, you don't have time to develop another personality that comes in handy once your look fade, and it's detrimental to you in the long run. Whereas for dark skinned people, they get bullied quite a bit. Kids are probably the meanest people on the planet. Children are horrible.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to say this, but kids are so rude. And so teach your kids not to bully other kids based on their skin color.
Kids learn it from somewhere.
They get it from somewhere. It starts from there. It starts from being very young and being relentlessly bullied for your skin. At least that's how I've noticed it in the friends that I have. And it brings about this insecurity where they feel like they need to seclude themselves for the rest of society. So I'm so sorry that what we look like is what determines how our life is going to play out. It's such a minute part of being a human being.
It is.
There's so many interesting things about us. We evolved to this point, and that's what you're worried about? Well, we look okay.
But also, we got to be careful with the things that we say, and even just social media, like filters, things such as filters where people use a filter to look lighter, or even, you know what I mean, when somebody gets a shade lighter, we're like, oh, you got lighter, as
you
a compliment.
look good.
And it's like, we're not even mindful that these are things that are a detriment to people, and people look forward to hearing these kind of things from people. Or if somebody doesn't say these kind of things to you, you're like, maybe something's wrong with me.
Yep.
And so we're not even aware that there are certain phrases and sayings that we say within our society that are embedded, and that I think we need to start removing.
Yeah, we're not even aware of them. So it's time to start being aware of them. Please be careful how you speak to people, because what's a joke to you is something that adds very heavy strain on somebody else's mental health. So we'll talk about that in very different aspects. Weight, height, skin complexion. We use so many things about a person's body to belittle them, and there's a long history attached to colorism and how it has affected not just Ethiopians but the rest of the continent. It is literally 2023. Let's move on from that. There's better things that can occupy our time.
And with that, we're going to move on to another topic that we have a lot of opinions about.
We're switching to the next one. It kind of is in tandem with colorism. So Our second topic for the day is the strong black woman narrative.
It's another form of prejudice because colorism is a form of prejudice, right? And women, particularly black women, the whole strong black woman
African
trope
women,
is a very much, you know what I mean, alive and kicking in every black society around the world. You know, being black as a woman is synonymous with being strong. You just have to be both.
You have to, yes, if you are black and a woman, you're expected to carry literally the whole world on your back and not complain one bit and still walk around smiling. Like,
Exactly.
what did we say? The struggle is glamorized.
And I'm glad that there is a spotlight being directed on this particular topic. We're seeing it on social media where black women are like, enough. It's about time that we also get the chance to be soft and feminine.
I think people think you're crazy when you say, I don't want to struggle. I think that's considered crazy for a woman to say.
Yes.
To just be like, I don't want to go through things and then figure it out, and then say, I don't want to. Why am I looking forward to struggling?
Like,
that doesn't
we see that but we see it in everything.
Yes, it happens. Like, it's a part of life where life will throw things at you, but I'm allowed to want an easy life, for one. That doesn't make me lazy or crazy or any of those things. I don't look forward to struggling. And that should just be common sense.
It's like you see it like within like the single mother. Like the single mother has to hold it down for the family, and you know what I mean.
Work, has to feed the kids, has to, you know, take care of the neighborhood, has to have the family's back. If you're the oldest sister or oldest daughter in a family, like, you're expected to raise the children that your parents had. And there's so many different categories, even just like the girlfriend. It's like the black girlfriend, if she's with a boyfriend that's cheating, or, you know what I mean, who's stepping out, or he's aggressive, or what, you stick it out. Yeah.
You know, you hold it down for your man.
Strong woman.
And there is that constant, you know, needing to be strong in every area of your life, where we can't imagine what it does to the mental health of black women.
I really don't want to be strong. And yes, it even happens when you ask somebody. I have conversations with men and they'll be like, I love my mom. My mom is my idea of a perfect woman. And you'll be like, okay, what? What is it about your mom that makes her your favorite woman, the perfect woman? And it's always, oh, she feeds me, she cleans for me, she raised me even though she didn't have much, she went through hell and back to get me to where I am. Those aren't things about your mom. Those are things about the things your mom did for you.
Yeah.
That isn't, her existence is not compared based on what you need from her as a whole person.
The sacrifices she made as a mother does not equate to who she is as a woman.
I bet you have no idea what she likes or what she wants in life or what her dreams were when she was younger. But catering to you was not everything she...
But imagine expecting a partner to be what your mother was for you. Like, so again, you're repeating the cycle of a wife now has to be essentially the model of what your mom was. And it's very toxic, because then we don't allow women to be outside of this box that we have put them in.
I exist to cater to you is such a detrimental way.
I exist to suffer?
I exist to serve and hold all the problems in the world so that you don't have to. No.
Because to me, it feels like I exist to suffer.
Yeah.
Like, whatever I'm going through life, I'm not going to escape suffering.
Yeah. Ankara. Jagna. Like, those are great words. Don't get me wrong. You're appreciating how somebody overcomes struggle. But we're saying don't glamorize it to a point where people feel like if they didn't struggle, they're not good people.
And I'm going to be real. I used to glamorize it for myself.
Same.
I used to say, I'm strong, I'm capable of handling anything, I can get through anything that life puts at me. You know what I mean? I applauded myself for being a strong black woman. But the issue is that when that is all I am, and that's all people see I am.
I don't even ask for help because I am such a strong, independent woman.
People don't check up on me because I'm the one who holds it down for everybody else.
I'm the group mom, yeah.
Exactly. When I'm struggling, essentially no one knows and nobody really cares.
They just think you'll figure it out because you're strong.
And I went through that my entire life, where I was just like, I'm the strong one, I'm strong, and I wore it like a badge. And then finally you realize, for what?
For who? They're all gone now.
Yeah.
All those people and things I was strong for.
And that means that if I'm constantly struggling, then I'm never really satisfied. I'm never really
happy, thriving.
Happy. Exactly. Because both can't be true. If I'm struggling, I'm not going to be happy and content and, you know what I mean, like living in my soft feminine era, which, by the way, I currently am. Me and TG currently
Gladly.
are. It makes you say, wait. I didn't sign up for this. How did I get in this, you know what I mean, group again?
It's the whole, I'll take care of it. I got it. Leave it up to me. I'll do it. I'll do everything. I can handle anything. And now I refuse to open a water bottle if it makes me struggle a little bit. I'm just like, can you open this for me?
Was there a turning point? What was the particular turning point where you were like...
I broke my leg.
Oh.
That probably was the first time in my life where I could not take care of myself. I could not feed myself. I could not, do laundry or do dishes. Or I couldn't do anything for myself, which I've been able to do for as long as I can remember.
Right.
And I had to spend a month in bed with tashogogre. And luckily, I have a partner. I have a husband that's in the house. But even for him, I was a strong woman. I did not ask for help. I did whatever it was by myself. He had to take the initiative to help me. He had to go out of his way. And that's the first time in my life where I had to sit back and let somebody else be strong for me and take care of me.
How was the initial feelings of that?
At first, I denied that my leg was broken, and I kept walking for a week straight. I did not go to the doctor, didn't do the x-ray, broken foot, still walked, because I was like, it's okay, it's just a sprain, I'm okay. And then it wouldn't get better, and I was like, maybe I'm not okay. I refused to admit it until I got my x-ray back, and I was like, fine.
Yeah.
The first week was tough, but after that, I really enjoyed it. I did not get up from the couch. I was watching movies and being fed and being taken care of. I didn't have to worry about anything. I wasn't going to work. And I was like, this is so relaxing. Why did nobody tell me that I could just sit back, chill out? Mm-hmm. And it's not always. I don't all throughout the entire year. I don't want to do that. But a couple of days a week, I would love to stay in bed while somebody else cooks and cleans and does all that.
Of course.
And takes care of me and says, don't worry about something that I'm stressing out about financially. I'll be like, great.
No, yeah.
Fantastic. Why am I struggling then? What's this? We can have each other's back? What do you mean?
It's unfortunate that something traumatic has to happen for us to come to a point that we're like, I deserve to be treated better.
You have to live a soft life. I had to forcefully be soft for me to be like, this is fantastic, by the way.
It's like dating a whole bunch of bad guys and realizing, no, I want the kind, really sweet, good guy. You come to appreciate that guy after being with a whole bunch of jackasses. But
when was it for you that you realized you wanted to be a soft girl?
I'm gonna be honest, that same reason that I just gave that example, where I realized I was like, I'm always the strong one for everybody. And even just in my relationships, I was always the strong girlfriend. And in my life, I was the strong sibling.
You were an older sister too. That's
I'm an older sibling of, 4. We're all girls. But I was basically the third parent. And so when you have to be the strong everything, and on top of that, I live a very strange life where very strange things happen to me. Challenging, weird things happen to me.
She's not kidding.
At first TG was like, your life's not like that. And then she's like, no, your life is like that.
I worry for her all the time, you guys.
And I constantly had to always be strong in the midst of all of those things. And I think it wasn't until a couple years ago that I was like, I'm tired. I think my physical and my mental self came to a point where we were just equally exhausted.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm tired. I want to be taken care of. I want to be pampered. And I want life to pamper me. I don't know how that's going to happen, but it's got to happen because this isn't it. And so my mindset of just how I want to carry myself in this world and what I felt like I was deserving had to completely change. And it's still evolving every day.
Sure. We still have to go through things and deal with them and be strong sometimes. We're not saying we're just sitting back and let the life happen. We have to be strong a lot. But we're allowing ourselves to relax a little bit more and not go out of the way to prove that we're strong and that we can handle struggle. I don't want struggle. Keep your struggle. Leave me out of it. I'm good over here.
As we said, we are in the soft feminine era right now, and we're going to continue to do so. And what we're also going to continue to do is get to a musical break. So we'll get to that. If you guys want to hit us up, make sure to do so on our Telegram at Awaze Media. That's AWAZE MEDIA. Let's get to Toni Braxton with He Wasn't Man Enough.
Ooh.
I know. I love, by the way, Toni's look in this entire music video. Top notch. Let's get to this track, and then we'll be back after the musical break.
Hey y'all, it's your girls Fire
and TG,
and together we're Awaze.
Catch us every Thursday. Yeah, you heard that correctly.
Thursday,
3:30 to 5 p.m. on 104.7 EBC FM.
Come for the good music and stay for the spicy topics. Awaze, let's spice it up.
Welcome back, y'all, to the Awaze Show here on EBC 104.7. What song is stuck in your head?
I love my chick. I'm singing her bed music.
I was like, wait, what? Welcome back, y'all, to the Awaze Show. Myself, as well as my girl, TG.
Yes, sir. We do have an invisible guest in the house that's just along for the ride and giggling the whole way through.
Yes, she's like our little sister that's here. Shout outs to her. Mm-hmm. We're talking about, in this hour, the strong black woman trope.
Yeah, that category that we've all been forced to fit into. If you guys are tuned in, make sure to hit us up. This is the Awaze Show. So you can find us on all of our social media at Awaze Show, AWAZE.
Awaze
it's media. My bad. It's at Awaze Media, AWAZE MEDIA. We talked about colorism in the first half.
We did.
And now we're talking about the quote-unquote strong black woman narrative that we have that's given to all. And I don't want to make this a race thing, but we do associate white with soft, gentle, fluffy,
but it is
feather-like, yes, light. And when it comes to black, we associate it with strong, hard, like all those things. And so
it's absolutely a race thing. It's absolutely a race thing.
I know we don't think it is, but it is. And so we talked about it a little bit before the musical break, that this idea comes with positives and negatives. Of course, it teaches you to be strong, but it also takes away people's willingness to help you because they think you got it. You're good. You're okay.
And I think due to, discussions on social media, I think there is a spotlight that's being, shined on this particular topic. I think people are collectively coming together, and in instances like, for example, when Meg Thee Stallion was in court and everyone was expecting her to be strong, because she got shot and she went through all of that and she wasn't defended. People were talking down about her.
People really came for her, Jesus.
Everybody came for her.
Yeah.
And at the end, after the verdict, people were just like, we gotta change the narrative of how we talk to black women, how we expect black women to be. I saw a lot of people just saying, we gotta change, we gotta be apologetic.
Absolutely.
As a society, we gotta be more apologetic, more empathetic. So this is, I guess, a huger situation, but in our everyday lives, we do have to also show each other that same grace.
Absolutely. I found this article on Forbes, and Francesca Andre, an award-winning filmmaker, author, photographer, and the creator of Group 21, she's somebody who works in the space of redefining stereotypes in black communities and African communities. Mm-hmm. And this is how she described the whole strong black woman narrative. She says, I do have a bit of a love-hate relationship with the word resilience.
Okay.
She said, do not call me resilient to deny my pain, because a lot of the times when people call you resilient, it makes them powerful bystanders. You don't get to be involved and help you carry the load if they could, because they're like, you got this. You're a strong girl. Put on your big girl pants. You got it covered. That's what I got while I was doing a lot of things in my life. People looked at me and they said, you're resilient. What I wanted was someone to say, what do you need help with?
Yes.
And that is the best way to summarize this whole strong black woman trope. Is this, we program women to take pride in suffering. We program women to be proud of how much hurt and pain and anguish we can take and still stand up and fight. We are not Spider-Man. Like, stop it. And I know we think it's for the better, because we really are the backbone of society, and we need to be able to get through hurdles and be ready for the other hurdle just like that. But I hope society understands the type of mental load it's putting us under by preparing us for a world of suffering.
I mean,
like we don't complain, we take it with a smile.
It's interesting because, that quote from Malcolm X, where it's like, the most unprotected person is the black woman, the most, and I'm paraphrasing here, the most undervalued person is the black woman. If you feel like black women are supposed to be strong, then there is not a need to protect them.
Yeah.
So when we sit here and say, oh, black women are not protected, well, as a society, we think that they're strong and that they can protect themselves. We think that they're strong and they can look out for themselves. Everybody else deserves protection, but black women, we already deem them for being, the strong individual anyway. So there is no point or necessity to look out for them anyway. So for me, it goes hand in hand. If you say we're strong, we don't need protection.
Yeah.
That's why police don't protect us. That's why our communities don't look out for us.
Our family doesn't protect us.
Exactly.
Our friends don't protect us. Yeah, you're right. It's an excuse to let us go through whatever and deal with it by ourselves.
Yes.
Whereas everybody gets a helping hand. We're just expected to be these stronger than human, almost super women type people that, like I said, whatever comes our way, we take it with a smile, we take it on the chin, and we keep pushing. And expecting us to be okay with suffering is doing things to our mental health that you cannot begin to imagine. So please, this is all I will leave people with for today. Is for everybody that talks about how strong a woman is, I want you to name one other characteristics about them.
Yeah.
Besides how much horrible things that they can go through and still survive. That is not at all a compliment. I don't know who taught us that was a compliment. It's not. We're not having a good time. It's not fun being a strong black woman. You don't get anything out of it. There are no accolades. There is nothing that you achieve at the end of the day because you are strong.
Yes, and I think it's also fair to say that when our black women, when we decide to come to you in tears, when we come to you in grief, when we come to you in frustration or despair, please don't answer back with, be strong.
Oh, you got this.
You got this, because the reason why we're coming to you is in need of comfort. We're coming to you because we can't handle it all. And I think that we need to stop telling our black women, we need to stop telling our women, be strong. I think we need to say, I see you. That, you're doing your best.
I know you are strong, but there are days where you will struggle, and I'm here for you.
And validate their reasons for feeling the way that they do, as opposed to invalidating those feelings. Because I'm tired of literally crying and someone's like, be strong. What?
Okay, I'll just go lift some weights then, I guess. Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with you. I think me and you we're still strong women at heart, so we don't let a lot of people see us vulnerable.
We don't.
Because we understand vulnerability in these streets means somebody will try to attack you as opposed to somebody will try to help you.
And I think maybe with even just speaking to our Black women, maybe we should start being that way towards each other. Because I see that me and TG, when we have days that we're sick, or we have days that we're probably mentally going through a lot, or maybe we have a lot of, other issues that are going on, we show each other extra grace, extra love, extra compassion. And I think that not only has it helped our business, but it's also helped our friendship. So if you're afraid to show that vulnerability to other people, maybe let's start within each other first.
Yeah.
And so once we build a foundation with that, then we can show other people, no, I'm gonna be a soft woman now.
I'm gonna take care of me.
Exactly.
Perfectly. Yeah, she was right. I really wanted to talk about the fact that this is what I mean by we still have the strong women monster, because when we're sick, we'll still be like, no, I'll just take painkillers and I'll come. It's okay. I can make it. I'll be fine. And the other one literally always goes, nope, you're not coming.
Yeah.
You're taking the day off.
Yes.
The other one is always, no, I'm going to take care of it. You're going to go rest. And so you definitely need people around you that allow you to be soft without expecting anything in return. It is a privilege to choose to not be a strong Black woman all the time. We're not being delusional. We understand people live in circumstances where if they're not strong, they're not going to make it.
Yeah.
Like, strong is a necessity, especially for a community like ours. You're either strong or you're left behind, and we get where that comes from. But for those of us that have the privilege of seeking out happiness, seeking out our mental health and trying to work on it, I really do mean that this is a privilege in a society like Ethiopia.
That's true.
For those of us, ignorance should not be the reason that we continue these cycles. You're allowed a day off. You're allowed to be a mom and not like your kids that day. Okay? These are one of the conversations where parents act like they love their kids every day.
No, you don't.
I've met your kids. I've met your kids for 2 minutes. I don't like your kids.
Oh, God.
Your kids look exhausting, dog. How are you hanging in there?
Okay.
And so, definitely allow each other grace. I don't want to have to look 100% every day.
Ooh, you are.
I didn't let you talk about that, did I?
You are preaching to the choir.
We have gotten people very used to us being all glamorous for no reason.
Because I want to do it for me.
Yeah, I like looking pretty.
For me. Yeah. Remember that. Not for Chow. When I say Chow, I'm doing it for me. And the one day where I'm like, I'm not feeling good, or I just want to, be in sweats. I just want to,
be comfortable.
Be chill. People are like, why you look like this? Why are you dressed like this? What happened to you?
Don't do this. And they tell you. They don't ask you.
They tell me, whether it's privately or even publicly in front of people, to shame me.
How they're not okay with your outfit that day.
And so, you know what? I think I'm going to have to have another show.
Yeah.
Basically telling you guys my entire heart concerning this topic, but we want to know what you guys feel pertaining to this. Hit us up on our Telegram at Awaze Media. That's AWAZE MEDIA. And I think we're gonna wrap it up a little bit earlier today, huh?
Yes. We got a place to be, things to do. I'm so kidding. It was so good to be back, you guys, and we're trying to fit more topics into the hour and a half than we normally do. So it feels like we're rushing over or glancing over things. Please hit us up and let us know. I definitely want to continue the strong Black woman conversation some other time.
I think we should.
We shall table it. We do have a guest next week.
Ooh.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Whoop, whoop.
Should I announce? I don't like announcing.
No, we did not announce it. It's gonna be a surprise. You guys are going to have to see next week when you tune into the show who the guest is.
Stay tuned to our social media. We'll announce it there. But it's a she. She's a pretty big superstar, and we're big fans. So we're excited to sit down and get to talk to her. Shout outs to our very invisible guest that's sitting in the corner absorbing this. We're molding young minds. Don't forget that. She's like, I've learned a lot today. And to all the strong Black women that are out there that are listening to this, and all the kids of strong Black women, man, I'm talking to you. You're still a child of a strong Black woman. please allow the women the grace to not have to be strong all the time. It's exhausting, and we
100%.
don't want to do it anymore.
I couldn't agree more. And going back to even the first hour when we talked about colorism, it's a huge topic. It's going to take a lot of time for us as a society to unlearn the scope of just how we treat each other in terms of colorism. But I hope that we can start making people feel seen, because I think colorism makes a lot of people feel unseen,
Invisible.
like they're hiding in the shadows. And I hope that we can embrace the fact that as Ethiopians, as people of color, we come in all shades, and that it is okay to be exactly who you are. And we should allow each other to be seen, to feel like we deserve to be here, because this is your home, and nobody is less than or greater than anyone. So more topics like this in our shows to come. And if there are any topics that you guys want us to, discuss, make sure to hit us up on our Telegram, Oaze Media. You can also find us under our social media, under that same name. And we'll end it here, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Sure. That being said, as usual,
Stay hydrated, make good decisions. Oaze out. Bye.
Hey y'all, it's your girls Fire
and TG,
and together we're Oaze.
catch us every Thursday. Yeah, you heard that correctly.
Thursday,
3:30 to 5 p.m. on 104.7 EBC FM.
come for the good music and stay for the spicy topics. Oaze, let's spice it up.